winery or speaker?
Hey, speaker. It's all about speaker. Hey, hey everyone, what's going on? Chris Sawyer here, the Varietal Show. Thanks for joining us tonight. Hey, we're right now in Telluride. This background doesn't do justice to where we're at. If you could see everything about what we're looking at all around us, it's a different world here in Telluride. We're about 9,000 feet, and that looks like it's really tall behind us, but it's really not that tall, versus if we were to go that way, take the gondola up to All Reds and have some drinks up there, and go that way to actually the highest elevation restaurant in the world, but it's not open right now. It's not open right now, believe it or not. But hey, we're here at the amazing 40-year anniversary of the Telluride Wine Festival, and what I've done here for the past 7 years has been amazing. Believe me, it's hard not to invite me here, because you come here, it's just different. I know people know Aspen and they know Vail and all those kinds of places. This is just completely different than that. And this is where the real cool people come that don't just live in Denver and drive up the hill. They actually come here because they actually have second houses here. They're from Dallas, and they're from Florida, and they're from Las Vegas, and they're from all over the place. And they like wine, and that's important to us, especially not just to me, but also to my great friend Shelby Sim, who's with me from the great Visit the Santa Ynez Valley Appalachian kind of, how would we call that? It's the website is SVS.
Visit SYV.com.
There we go.
SYV, SantaYnezValley.com. And it is northern Santa Barbara County. Santa Barbara known as the American Riviera because that beach faces south, right? And so you got that beautiful beach. The backdrop is the beautiful Santa Ynez Mountains. We are on the other side of those Santa Ynez Mountains in the Santa Ynez Valley.
It's so great. I love Santa Ynez. And so basically what I'm trying to tell you is we brought California here in my version from Northern California, and bringing some great wineries in like Chapelet and Mount Veeder kind of appellation stuff like Mount Brave. I brought a lot of great Pinot Noir producers. We're going to taste one in a minute. The Stoller, which we featured in a different episode at one point. But we also have some amazing, we've got some Albarino here from, Spain. So we're talking about different things that we got to share with people over the past few days. And more importantly is that Shelby got to share with people, what is Santa Ynez Valley? Why do you guys need to go there? And to be really honest, he doesn't need to twist my arm that much. I twisted his arm a little bit to get him to Telluride, but he's here, and he's got. I didn't really need to twist it that much, but the fact is, we're having a great time. We just had a great brunch. We had wonderful things to do together. But your passion for Santa Ynez Valley reflects a lot about. Hang on, you guys, because this is the only reason we did it outside this time is so that we could show you the backdrop of where we're really looking at. But there are some trucks and things like that. But with that being said, Santa Ynez Valley allures me every time. When people invite me there, I want in. And what really brought you into Santa Ynez Valley? I mean, you were kind of born in the area, but then you went away. You lived in Oregon, and that's why we have to drink a little bit of this together. A little bit of Oregon Willamette Valley Stoller family estate. We love those guys. But also, you came back to an area that was really flourishing when you got back. I mean, I got to see it, back there about 15 years ago when it was really starting its transcendence upwards. And I got to meet a lot of the people that we got to feature this week here in Telluride. Tell us a little bit about your background and the legacy, and how the heck did you get this job? Because it's so cool.
Yeah, luckiest guy alive. Thank you, Chris Sawyer, everybody. What an amazing sum to the stars, no doubt about it. This guy is amazing. Somebody said this morning at the brunch, you meet Chris Sawyer, you know him for 10 minutes, and you feel like you've been friends for years. Very special gentleman, absolutely. Yeah.
All you guys out there, same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel privileged and honored to be here with you, not only this week, but as our friendship grows, and here today out on the patio of your beautiful little abode for this week. So, gee whiz, I grew up on the coast in Santa Barbara, and pretty much, food service, that kind of thing. And then I went into service when we got a little older, did a couple tours on an aircraft carrier, got out, went into computers, and then I got divorced and got into sales, and I was selling bikinis. And I was incredibly
bikinis. Did you
successful.
hear that, everyone? You need a bikini. He might be a consultant for you.
I
Just
know
saying.
how you're going to look good. Let's change the subject really quick. Anyway, I learned I could sell. And so then I got divorced, and I traveled the world to figure things out. I got a lot of good time on the East Coast and in our northern hemisphere, and then I had a girlfriend in the Bay Area. Brought her to visit my first daughter in Santa Barbara in 2000, and she said, well, why don't we live here? And I said, don't be silly, nobody can live in Santa Barbara. But it was during the .com bubble in 2000, and so we just kind of crutched jobs all the way up and did it, and then 2008, of course, happened, and I got into wine tours, and I started doing wine tours in the Santa Ynez Valley, Santa Barbara County. When you hear Santa Barbara wine country, right? It's because Santa Barbara's been at this marketing thing for a long time, and bless their hearts. But there is no wine in Santa Barbara. There's tasting rooms, and there's tasting rooms in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I believe.
That's true. That is true.
But there's no wine actually
Tiburon,
in Santa Barbara.
Too. Go to Tiburon. Very good place.
And Sausalito.
Exactly.
Besides, gorgeous. Marin.
And there's tasting rooms there.
Yeah, tasting rooms.
But there's no
let's
wine
go where the
country there.
wine is. Yeah, why don't you stay where the vines are grown, right? And so I did wine tours for 11 years. Amazing. I learned a lot. And then I got into hospitality. And then the Valley came and asked if I would kind of sell the Valley, and I said, of
The Valley's
course.
pretty smart to ask this guy to be a part of it.
Well, thank you, Chris.
That's under the radar.
So since 2014, I have been president and CEO of Visit the Santa Ynez Valley, or Visit SYV, and we're doing a fine job. We all know about Sideways, 2004. Sideways came out. That's the Santa Ynez Valley.
Who out there saw that movie? Raise your hands.
That's not Santa Barbara. That's the Santa Ynez Valley. And so we weren't ready for it. We got world renowned, right? And like Pinot and the Santa Rita Hills, and we won't even talk about what they did to the other grape. But we weren't ready. Now we're ready. We've been your best kept secret for years. You can come out and discover us. We're shadowed. We're in the shadows of Napa. We're even in the shadows of Paso Robles and Temecula, with the bazillions of people that live in the Inland Empire, right? They go there. But we are the wine region in California where you want to go. 88 varieties, over 5 distinct wine regions, 7 AVAs. We're not going to be the best kept secret for long, so please come on out and visit us and enjoy what we've got to offer.
Absolutely.
This is the Hapa Blanc, I believe.
Yeah, the Hapa Blanc. So this was a really good one that we got to pour. Past few days, I did 4 seminars. You did 2 of them with me, and they were both great. This one really became a big hit. This is the proprietary seminar where we got all these kinds of matches of different kinds of grapes that were put together inside a bottle. And why do you do that? And why do you put a name on these wines that make them so different? Like, you could call this a Rhone blend, but this is not the situation with this one. This is a blend of 50% Roussanne, and then the rest of it is Grenache Blanc, a little bit of Viognier, exactly, and Albarino.
Yes, sir.
And so, like, it doesn't even make, like, Albarino is technically not Rhone, but does it taste good inside the glass? Oh, hell yeah. And so tell us a little bit about the great producer here.
Yeah, so this is Michael Seguin.
This is Keanu.
Yeah.
Keanu. I just want to say Keanu because Keanu Reeves. He made movies, you guys. This is Keanu.
So Michael Seguin grew born and raised in Hawaii, but a white guy. So Halle, and he actually came. We're in Telluride now. He saw snowboarding and on TV one time, a Warren Miller movie when he was a kid, and it was out of Durango. He actually came and went to school at Durango for a year.
Which is about that way, 2 hours south. You came up from Durango.
Yeah.
You're going back to Durango tomorrow.
And Michael said, and then once the snow melted, he says, "What am I doing in Durango?" So we went back to Hawaii, and then he found his way to the Santa Ynez Valley. He was raised by his great-grandmother that gave him all kinds of just spirituality on what to go with, and so he's known as the Grenache King. And this guy is Rhone, and he's not afraid of flavor. And just incredible story that, my gosh, this guy's Grenache is incredible. Not overly sweet, but certainly lots of flavor and fruit.
Yesterday at the seminar, I think that it was a big hit. Let's just put it this way: it was the only white that was part of the seminar, and it not only withstood its origin, but you had the other panelists with us going, "This stuff's good. It was really good." And we actually had some. The final bottle today we had at the brunch because they said, "Is there more of that stuff?" And I'm like, "Yeah, well, let's find it and let's do it." Because when you find these kinds of super blends and they really work well, and we'll give some shout out to Stephen Kent Marisu, who was with us yesterday and was having a fine brunch with us today.
Yes.
To one of the great legacy families of all of America. As far as planting the grapes originally in the 1860s and still being the seventh generation of the what we're doing here in California, what we do in California, because we're not in California, we're bringing California to the Telluride. But the fact was that that white wine was a big hit, and I wanted more. And I think this is a great showing of what Santa Ynez Valley really is. We know about some great people there. Sanford and Benedict Vineyard. I mean, come on, this stuff's killer. Brander, Sauvignon Blancs, and everything that Fred makes. We love you, Fred, and all these other great producers there. You get
Longoria, Rick
Longoria, absolutely.
And Jim Clendon.
And the Foxen wines.
Foxen,
and
Richard Dory and Jenny.
You get into all this stuff.
Billy Wathen.
Yeah, you get into all these kinds of producers there from this area, and you're like, "Oh, wow, that's amazing. Why am I not there?" Lane Tanner, who we tasted her a great Lumen Pinot Noir the other day, and we featured that also at the Grand Tasting. So, I mean, you start thinking about, where do I need to go next? I would advise Telluride, just for a lot of reasons. If you like skiing, and if you like just outdoors, there's nothing better than this.
Dramatic backdrops. If you have not been here, this is my first visit.
He wrote me, and he's like, "Oh, Chris, I got here. I believe everything that you told me." Yeah. It's hard to describe. And if we were to turn this and we were to look up at the gondola going up there, and you saw where we were at earlier today, it would blow your brains out. But you have to come here to understand what we're really saying. But you could do the same thing in Santa Ynez Valley. I think for me, I get invites to go down there. I don't say no. Let's just put it that way. There's certain places like Anderson Valley. I don't say no. Willamette Valley. I don't say no. I already live in Sonoma County, but there are other areas that are so special in my heart, and to have Shelby here with me was really special. We really dug on each other, as we always do. And if you ever watch our selfies, you might say that you just are watching the two best selfie kings of them all.
Cheers to that.
Here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's as good as me, and I'm as good as him. So that's why we hang out together. But I think that the fact is that Telluride needed to learn more about Santa Ynez Valley, and I just am so happy that you came here.
Yeah, really. Thank you. We feel like it's a great fit, and we're really here to sell more of a sense of place. We want to entice you with the wine. Wine is the biggest driver for visitors in the Santa Ynez Valley, and so let's bring some incredible wines and let these amazing folks know about come and experience more, and actually get out to the vineyards and the grapes, and do some wine tours, hang out with Chad Melville.
I know. Oh God, I love that man.
And
Chad Melville, if you see this, I'm coming for you, brother.
Yeah.
Greg Brewster.
So many. Oh, right. Or Brewer, one of those.
Brewer, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I just need a beer.
Yeah.
Let's have some more Pinot.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh, yeah.
So we're going to go back to the Stoller. I talked about Stoller, a few episodes ago, but I got to say one thing. One of the greatest moments of our our few days is we were in one of the gondolas and we popped open a nice spritzer of the new Stoller spritzer on the gondola, and it tasted really good. Wouldn't you say that?
It was good.
It was good.
It was like a couple pints, or
yeah. It's about a couple glasses, a couple pint glasses.
I think you stopped me about 3/4 of the way
I said,
through.
dude, I need some too, and like sharing it with one of the other great people from who was actually one of the donors to this amazing, festival here. That was fantastic. But I think Stoller Wines really did well in this. I had them right after the Foxen Pinot. Then we went into Lumen, from Santa Ynez Valley or great producers from that area.
Santa Maria Valley, Santa Barbara County.
Yeah, exactly. Santa Barbara County, very well represented.
Yes.
Then we did an amazing one from Davis Bynum. And I want to thank my friends out there once again from Rodney Strong for being here with us. And also, then we went kind of into the back end. We went into the Pinot Noir from, don't forget, Willamette Valley. One of the places that's actually celebrating, it's not Willamette Valley that's celebrating the anniversary this year, but it's actually Oregon in general for Pinot Noir. The first Pinot Noir grapes were planted in 1961 in Oregon. And that's an amazing thing when you go back to that point that we're looking
a couple years ago.
Yeah, it's a couple years ago, but it's a big anniversary from them. They've done so well, and in this case, Bill Stoller, and you gotta love his label, and the fact that in 1995 he decided to buy his old family's turkey vineyard, believe it or not, and turkey piece of property to make it into a vineyard. It wasn't a vineyard yet, but it did have very good compost, if you know what I'm talking about with those turkeys. But you know what? It's really become something special to everyone, and it's a good banner kind of winery to get to know, especially as far as the new modern age of what Oregon is. You can go back to the original stuff, especially with David Lett and Ponzi and Sokol Blauser and the Campbell family from Elks Cove, and you can really believe me, I will never forget saying David Adelsheim. That man is the real deal. But also, some of these amazing vineyards that were planted in the old days that really made Oregon's Willamette Valley something special, and we got to really explore that here in Telluride, and it's great. I feel very proud of bringing that in here, and especially Oregon wines in general, and really making sure that everyone knows how cool Oregon is in general. Santa Ynez Valley, that's already a given to me, but for you guys, if you don't know enough about Santa Ynez Valley, you need to really call him and this organization and get in on it, because one of the things is you don't just represent wineries, you represent hotels. That is a very important thing to know, you guys, is who's got the lodging there, because you could say, I want in, but if you don't have the lodging, what's the point, So you really have done an amazing job with those. He's kind of like the super concierge of the lodging there. You've become that.
Thank you.
Isn't that amazing?
It is incredibly blessed. When I did wine tours, we would go through great tastings, and then where do we go to dinner? And I would always say, you have to go to Santa Barbara for dinner. You have to go to the coast. Now, the Santa Ynez Valley is where Santa Barbara goes to dinner. Yeah. The restaurants have totally come up to par. We have 2 Michelin plates in the Santa Ynez Valley, 2 restaurants. We've got in Los Alamos, we've got a chef that just got named top 40 in the world by Food and Wine. The full experience. We have value hotels, we have modern hotels, and we have high luxury. Yeah, so whatever you want to do in the Santa Ynez Valley, we've got it for you.
This is the man. I'm so glad you're here with me. And you know what, you guys, thanks for being here with us in Telluride. This has been a really amazing experience for me. Once again, 7th year I've done this. It's 40-year anniversary of this amazing wine festival, and being here, bringing great information, bringing these wines. I mean, bringing California here is important to me. Bringing Oregon here is important to me. Bringing Washington here, and bringing the other ones I brought were the amazing Felix Solis wines from Spain, which were, I'm on the cover of the new wine like the magazines that you look at, but the tasting panel is one of the best of the best. And me being there on the cover with the great Liz Tosh and the great Andrea Emmer Robinson, Master of Wine and Master Sommelier, that made me feel so great. And when you get to bring the wines here to educate and to delight the people here of Telluride, the same things that I got to delight those two with. I mean, come on, what kind of things can you want that's better than that? Especially wonderful wines that make you want to go places. And I think that's really what San Ynez Valley is about. I've always thought about that whenever I think about a wine, or I see a wine from Fred Brandner or anyone like that, or the great Jim Clendenin, who died earlier this year, who really touched our hearts. I mean, I gotta say, probably the best thing about that whole passing of him was just actually going out to lunch with him. That was the San Ynez kitchen, right?
Right.
And we went and we had an amazing point there where we just had a bottle of Jim Clendenin's wine. And you know what? That bottle was very memorable to me, and I will never forget that bottle, because not only was the food killer at this place,
yes,
but hey, we were there representing Jim, and we're representing San Ynez, right now here, San Ynez Valley, right here now in Telluride. But we're doing the same thing with Sonoma County, Napa Valley, Oregon's Willamette Valley, and all these different places. It's amazing to bring this here to people that really love this. And I hope you guys got a little bit out of this informational speech here, because I freaking love these guys. And I love San Ynez Valley. And I hope you will follow up and you will look up their website, which is, once again,
visit thesantinezvalley.com. No, it's not. It's visit SYV.com.
SYV.
Visit SYV.com.
Got it.
Cheers, everyone.
Done. Cheers to everyone. Thanks for visiting the Varietal Show once again, and we will see you next week. Cheers.
Thank you, Chris.
You got it.